So today we'll continue with the same chapter, that is light and shadows. In our previous video we have already discussed what is light. So today we'll be discussing about shadow. So what is shadow? It's a dark patch formed when opaque object comes in the pathway of a light. We all know what is opaque object, right? What is it? It's an object which does not allow the light to pass through. So when any kind of opaque object comes on the pathway of the light, a dark patch is formed, and that is referred to as shadow. So what are the things required for the formation of shadow? You need light, you need opaque object and the screen upon which those dark patch should fall. Okay, so these are the three things required. So characteristics of a shadow: it is dark. Okay, number two, your shadow just gives you the outline or the framework of that particular object, not the detail of that object. Okay. Number three, the size of a shadow depends upon the distance between the light source and the object and the screen. Okay. And therefore the size of a shadow differs. During morning and the evening it is longer than that of an object. During the afternoon it is shorter than that of an object, and then at noon when the sun is overhead it is shortest. Okay, so the size of a shadow differs, okay, from time to time. So that's all about the characteristics of a shadow. Okay, in today's class we will be discussing about the formation of a shadow in the space. Okay, since in space also you have different heavenly bodies, okay, and the sun rays that's coming, the sun rays might fall on the heavenly bodies, and since these heavenly bodies are opaque in nature, like we have studied during the shadow formation, right, that what are the criteria for the formation of a shadow? The object on which the light falls has to be opaque. Okay, so since there are different heavenly bodies like Earth, the moon, different planets on the space, right? So whenever the sunlight falls on this kind of heavenly bodies, then what happens is it obstructs the way of light. Light cannot pass through that heavenly bodies because it's opaque in nature. So the shadow of this particular object will fall on the earth and make the visibility of some of the heavenly bodies invisible on the earth. Okay, so this is referred to as eclipse. Okay, the shadow falling of one heavenly bodies is making the visibility of some of the other heavenly bodies on the earth impossible. That's referred to as eclipse. Okay, now so we have two types of eclipse: solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Okay, now first let us discuss about the solar eclipse. For that we have sun. Around the sun what revolves? Earth. And earth has its own natural satellite which revolves around it. What is it? It's moon. So what happens during solar eclipses? The sun rays falls on the moon. Okay, the sun rays falls on the moon. So since the moon is an opaque object, so shadow formation is going to take place. So shadow of a moon falls on the earth. So because of which, okay, the person on the earth cannot visualize the sun. It is referred to as solar eclipse. Okay, either a partial vision, or you will have a no vision, or only a partial vision of the sun on the earth. It is referred to as solar eclipse or Amavasya. Okay. Now another one is lunar eclipse. So in case of lunar eclipse, so you have sun. Around sun revolves the earth, and around earth revolves the moon. So your earth comes in between your earth comes in between the sun and the moon. Okay, so the light of the sun falls on the earth, okay, and the excited formation is occurs, and because of which the moon is not visualized. This is referred to as lunar eclipse. Okay, similar to the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse can also be partial or a complete lunar eclipse. In case of partial lunar eclipse, we can visualize the some part of the moon, but in case of what you call a complete lunar eclipse, only part of the moon, moon will not be visualized from the earth. Okay, so that's in case of solar eclipse, moon comes in between the sun and the earth, and in case of lunar eclipse, your earth comes in between the sun and the moon. Okay, so that's all about this chapter. We were just left with eclipse. We have completed it, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, right? Learn to draw the diagram. With regard to solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, I will attach the diagram which you have to learn to draw. Okay, and that's all. Next from this chapter is Earth and its movement. So Earth shows two types of movement. Those are rotation and revolution. So first, what is rotation? Okay, imagine this to be earth. The line which passes to the central of the earth is referred to as the axis. Okay, so in the same position, if earth is rotating around its axis, it is referred to as rotation. Rotation causes day and night. Okay, so the side of the earth which is facing the sun, which receives the sun, okay, that side, that region will have a day, and the one which is not facing the sun or receiving the sunlight will have night. So rotation causes day and night. Okay, so the earth rotates from west to east in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now next one is revolution. Revolution means earth moving around the sun. Okay, it's changing its position from one place to another. It's just revolving around the sun. That's revolution. Okay, now revolution causes seasonal changes. Okay, so that's all you have. So that's all about this chapter. We had a brief idea about light and shadows. So just go through it, and if you have any problem, you can always keep in touch. Okay, thank you.